adjust that. And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes Live. Of course, we're going to cover the news and notes tonight, and a lot of it this week coming out of the Fanstream and whatnot. But before we get to that, allow me to do my proper introduction, if I may. I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all of that, man, in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Now I'm on here a few minutes early, so I'm going to get things set up. I hope that you guys are having a tremendous week. Of course, for anybody who happens to celebrate it, tomorrow is Good Friday, the start of Easter. So if that's something that you celebrate, happy Easter to you. If it's not, I don't know, have a great weekend, I guess. I mean, I always wish you guys a great weekend, right? Let's see here. Do that right now. Hey Warren, so far, buddy, you're the first person to say anything. I suspect that we're going to have a few people who are going to come in here and stagger in a little bit late. Hey Jay, and that's my fault, because normally, if anything, I'm a few minutes late, and today I'm actually a few minutes early. So, by the way, you'll see me tonight holding up this. I'm going to be using this sometimes to make my points and scratch some things off. This is, of course, everybody knows that Optimus Prime pen. Well, this is the KO of that, which is actually going to be our review tomorrow. It's not going to get a good review. This thing is rough. I think the actual one, the real one, is probably pretty good. I think that it's pretty clever. I think it's a clever design. But for the KO, there's some issues with it, not the least of which was having to try and figure this out without any instructions. And I had no idea that the legs opened. And when I did it with the KO, I had an issue where this gray piece here kept coming off, and that's really what kind of holds the leg together. So like things were falling apart. It's some KOs are great quality. Some of them are not so great quality. This one, not so much. We have a lot of news. Of course, we have the live stream that happened this week. We have a ton from Rise of the Beast. We have some stuff from Fans Hobby this week. And what else we have? Some notes about apparently the Eternal Beasts Showdown series, I guess we'll call it. Some sightings. You get the idea. You know how this is going to go. Some of it is tidbits. Some of it is a little bit more of a deep dive. We'll also kind of touch on some of the recent character bios that went up based on things like the codes that you can scan on the top of the packages, right? I'm not going to belabor that or go through them all or anything, but a few interesting tidbits and notes from that as well. Okay, so let's see what we've got here, shall we? Yes, why not? So very first thing, Fans Hobby put out a teaser image. It was a top-down image where you looked at it and you could easily tell that this is the front piece of Tidal Wave going through the water. Obviously, they have a tidal wave on the horizon. I think we knew that. I've heard that their tidal wave is on the horizon, that it will be able to connect to their version of Armada Megatron, who honestly I'm pretty sure is like MP sized, MP scaled, right? So if that's true, and if that's the case, and I've been a big advocate saying, hey, if you're in for Armada, get the Fans Hobby stuff. Although, to be fair, in the main line, Hasbro's really putting on a big push now. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? But I think that for what they showed, it looked fine. If nothing else, it should at least give credence and hope to the idea that Fans Hobby is moving forward with that project, because it's been some time since we've heard anything about the Fans Hobby Tidal wave. What else do we have here? Funko Pop Optimus Prime. This is the version of Optimus Prime that comes with lights and sounds. Now, if you've seen the previous Funko Pop version of Optimus Prime, then you know exactly what to expect. I think the blue is a little bit darker here, but this one comes with a base, and I assume the base is what houses the lights and sound. You might say, "Oh, I didn't hear anything about that." It's because it is an online exclusive. I think it's one of these ones where you have to have the NFTs and you have to like trade them in or cash them in or whatever to get this Optimus. So if you want the kind of the regular Funko Pop Optimus with a bit of a darker blue and a base that has lights and sound, then I don't know, buy a bunch of NFTs, I suppose. Wouldn't be for me, but it might be for you. New bios. Let's talk a little bit about the bios as people are coming in here. By the way, for anybody coming in a few minutes late, this is the KO of the Optimus Prime pen. We're going to take a look at this tomorrow. It's not great, but the pen part is great. It works fine. It's a little chunky, but it works fine as a pen. The robot of the KO is rough for one very specific reason. You'll see tomorrow. So new bios, a couple of interesting things that really sort of stood out to me. Crash Bar has a speed of 10. That makes sense. Crash Bar basically crashes into things because he goes so fast. Not very strong, not very smart. Okay firepower, but his speed is 10, so he's up there with like Blur for speed, say. Strength is only 4, for example, right? Then we have Crosscut. Crosscut has the vertical double blaster, and apparently it really disorients and confuses his opponents, I suppose, his adversaries. I didn't know that's what his blaster was, but what a cool blaster. His strongest asset, by the way, is his intelligence at 8. Everything else is like 6 and 7, so he's very middle of the road. Then we have Grimlock, who I thought was interesting. Of course, he's strong. He has a 10 for strength. He has a 9 or 10 for fire blast, and he has like a 3 for speed. But Grimlock has a 7 for intelligence. That one struck me funny. I thought that was weird. I never really took Grimlock as somebody who would have a 7 for intelligence. Just saying. Then we had Metal Hawk. Metal Hawk across the board, leader of the Autobot Pretenders. 9s and 10s. Like, he's up there with Optimus Prime, for example. He's up there with Rodimus Prime, with Primal, Lio Convoy. Like, he's up there with those guys. Speaking of Nemesis, or I guess I should say Optimus, Nemesis Prime also had his bios up. His strength and his intelligence are both 10s, but his other two, being Fire Blast and Speed, are 8s. Metal Hawk actually has overall higher scores than Nemesis Prime. Go figure, right? Go figure. Skyquake has the Tornado Cannon. Good way to describe his big, like, Gatling gun thing. His Fire Blast and I think his strength are 10. The rest is pretty average, even, middle of the road type of stuff. And I thought this was funny. Twincast has a speed of 2, because I guess when all you have is 2 feet and a heartbeat or a spark beat, your speed is only going to be a 2. So I thought that was interesting. Of course, all of these are up. Tformers.com has really images of all of these and some descriptions and stuff. So if you want to check it out on Tformers, hey, go check it out on Tformers. What else do we have here? Eternal Beast. Rhinox, a Scorponok 2-pack. I'm saying it's the Eternal Beast because this seems to fall in line with giving a premium deco to Kingdom molds. And we saw that done with Optimus and Megatron. We've seen even more pictures of Megatron in the last week, a close-up of his face and whatnot, where he has the nice Predacon symbol on the crest of his head. And I don't really like the baring teeth version. I prefer the more stoic face, but to each their own. There's certainly nothing wrong with it, and it's a great color scheme, no doubt about it. I don't feel like there was much of a deco change with Optimus. And when I look at this pack, Rhinox definitely is the one who got the overhaul. He has a lot more browns and deeper greens, and the head is definitely painted more accurately than the Kingdom. The Scorponok is not a great mold. It was never a great mold, if I'm being perfectly honest about it, and I don't particularly like it that much. This one is not much different than the Kingdom. Maybe the paint is a little more metallic-y, but generally it's not much different than the Kingdom to begin with. I feel like it's a weak addition to put in with Rhinox, but that's just me. Other people might think differently. I do think the Rhinox looks a lot better. The only problem is you're using the Kingdom mold, and a lot of people just plain don't like the Kingdom mold. They don't think the Kingdom Rhinox is good, especially the leg transformation. TFCon Toronto announced that they will have David K in attendance. David, always very, very good to the fans and very approachable. Very involved with the fans, which is great. I mean, he has great respect for, I think, those people who kind of helped get him where he is, if that makes sense, right? In Mexico, Voyager, Optimus Prime, and Optimus Primal from Rise of the Beasts released, the mainline ones. And you know what? Like, the Prime looks very similar to the studio series Bumblebee movie Optimus, except he has like silver upper chest. Fine, whatever. The Primal is all right. I mean, he's a bit monochromatic in his gray coloration. But that being said, I do like the almost gunmetal gray type of look to him. I think the robot mode looks burly and bulky, as a leader should. I'm glad he has the faceplate, because there's a part of me that always thought he should have the faceplate, so I'm cool with that. And I think the gorilla's okay, though I do find his gorilla face reminds me more of like his, almost like his Transmetal One face for robot mode. It's weird. I don't feel like it's exactly hitting a gorilla face. It seems like a bit of a robot face and a gorilla body to me. But I don't hate it. I think it looks pretty good, honestly. I think it looks pretty, I don't want to say condensed, but I do want to say it looks very clean. It doesn't look like in either mode there's much hanging off of it. I like the double sword that he's able to hold in the top and bottom of his hands. There's clearly two rectangular ports on his back to plug the swords into. I think that the Primal's probably a bit of a hit. I mean, if you're not into the original Beast Wars and you don't want that Primal, I think this one might be a great alternative if that's what you're into. Also out in Mexico is the Titan Changer Cheetor. If anybody cares, I don't. You might. Rise of the Beast Megatron. So, one of the things that recently happened was there was a Megatron that's one of these gimmick junk things that got released as part of Rise of the Beast. It's a repack from, I don't know, the last night maybe. They're doing a lot of repacks of things that didn't sell in earlier movie waves and just putting it with Rise of the Beast, and I guess hoping it'll sell again. But on the packaging for this Megatron, there's Megatron artwork. Now, it looks nothing like the Megatron that's in the packaging. That looks more like a Cyberverse Megatron than anything else. It's definitely an evergreen design. It's definitely not a movie design. But the Megatron aesthetic that's on the front definitely is. And a lot of people said, that looks like the Megatron from the deleted scene from the Bumblebee movie, where he's still at the dam, except now he doesn't look like the Megatron from the first movie. He looks like the closer to the Megatron we all know and love. Not exactly the same. It's still live actionized, Bay-ized, if you want, but it's more reminiscent of what we got. Now, here's the interesting thing. There was debate over if it was real or if it wasn't. Well, apparently it was, according to 3-0, who worked off of a lot of the artworks and early artwork and whatnot for their deluxe line. So they've done Bumblebee, they've done Optimus, they've done Starscream. Presumably there'll be a Megatron. Well, according to them, they said that they worked off of the art, but at the time that they saw it, only the front was done. There was nothing done with the back. Whatever design has to be done with the back. So if you see this Megatron and you see the art on it, apparently, yes, that is actually the artwork that was going around for a Bumblebee movie / Rise of the Beast version of Megatron himself. Some people have said, I hope we see him in the movie. We're not going to see him in the movie. He is not slated at all. I would be shocked. I guess he could get a cameo. He certainly doesn't have a voice actor accredited to him. It's not touted as being in there. The big bad guy here is Scourge. I don't think we're going to see him. I think the whole reason that this is coming out is because they had some versions of Megatron that just plain didn't sell. So they said, we're going to repack it in the movie stuff, and hopefully it catches the wave of excitement for the movie. Will that happen? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Won't for me, but again, it might for you. Speaking of Rise of the Beast and repacks, Autobots Unite, Optimus Prime, 2-in-1 masks, and I don't know what we call them, Smash Changers, I guess. They're out in the US. I I don't know. These came from the Bumblebee movie. Do you remember the Speed series and the Street series from the Bumblebee movie that came with those little blocks? Apparently, that's repacks of those in now Rise of the Beasts. So if you got them and liked them before, I don't think there's any reason for you to buy them again unless you really want new packaging. If you missed them and you were like, hey, man, I really wanted one of those like Speed series or Street series ones, keep your eyes out. I think Bumblebee, Optimus, and Barricade, I think, are the 3 coming out. I could be wrong about that. Again, to me, this is gimmicky junk. I don't really follow it that closely. If you're really into it, check it out. They are starting to certainly show up in the United States. So if you're in the US, keep your eyes peeled, I guess. And Pod Pals. These are basically like chubby little plushies. I don't know, an Optimus, a Bumblebee, and a Megatron we're seeing in the US. I can't really tell you the aesthetic. I want to say that it's Evergreen / G1, maybe somewhere in between, where they're like kind of chubby and they're just like a little ball. It's hard to tell exactly what aesthetic it is that they are. Before I go on any further, let's check in with you guys and see what you're saying, because I know you have been saying stuff as you've been coming in here. We haven't gotten to much of the big news yet. I guess the biggest so far that we talked about, kind of glossed over a little bit, were a number of like kind of toy bios, so to speak. Let's see. Hey, Mike, got your Planet X sludge. Now I got my Planet X Dinobots complete. Nice. Planet X done a great job with those Fall of Cybertron ones. A couple of tolerance issues, like trying to swing Grimlock's tail around. I think it's his tail. I don't know how good or bad the sludge is. I've heard the sludge is pretty good, but I really don't know. But generally, man, Planet X nailed it. Really nailed it. Hey, Dragonfly, snagged the Rise of the Beast 3-pack. It's not bad. Nightbird is favorite of the set, says Jay. I mean, I'm not getting that. I don't. There's nothing in it for me, honestly. But you know what? It's not that I think the 3-pack is bad or anything like that. If anything, I think it's quite good. I think they look like fine deluxes. I don't know if I need any of those characters, to be honest with you. I think they're fine deluxes, but again, for me now, it boils down to need with the prices and stuff, right? It boils down to need. Do I need this? Not really. I don't know, on sale maybe, but I have no doubt that the Nightbird that Jay is talking about, it might very well be an excellent Nightbird. Got to be better than that Siege Selects junk that we got for her. Got to be better than that. Hey, Lance. Waspinator, happy you're here, buddy. You find my pen distracting? Usually I got this pen in my hand, right? This is my go-to. This is a hefty pen. This has refills and stuff. But since I got Optimus Prime as a pen, come on. How can I not use Optimus Prime as a pen on the live stream, right? I think Grimlock's intelligence would be at best a 4. I'm with you. I was expecting like a 3 or a 4, but a 7 surprised me. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Ken. Listen, man, what a life. Tell me about it. I hear you. What a day, what a life, buddy. I hear you. Spaghetti and meatballs is all right, man. I like spaghetti and meatballs. The sexiest Transformers in Newfoundland. I might be. No, I'm not the only one in Newfoundland. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that as a compliment. It's been a day, but luckily, because I'm a teacher right now here in our province, we don't get spring break. We get an extended break at Easter. So I have tomorrow off and I have next week off. So that's nice. Hey, Live. I mean, I'm surviving, buddy. By the way, hi, Raz, if I didn't say, buddy. Hey, Keldeo. Still playing with the Rise of the Beast Cheetor. So I 100% get it. What? Still playing with my Rise of the Beast Cheetor. So, 100% get it. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, Darren. I appreciate it, buddy. Hey, Brian, did I miss you? Oh, I did. I missed you. Hey, Brian. Grimlock is very smart. He just has a speech impediment. I mean, I suppose he's arrogant. He's definitely arrogant, but smart. I don't know, man. He was that one time when he made the Technobots, I guess. Let me lay that there because we'll get back to that. Let's go on with some more of the news now that I'm caught up with you guys. So, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, glow in the dark mini backpacks. I mean, I like some glow in the dark as much as the next fella. Put it on my backpack. These are pretty small though, 27 inches by 23 inches. So they're not quite 2 feet wide and they're like 2.5 feet long. I mean, they're obviously meant for kids, but you know what? Pretty cool. If I was a kid, I would definitely like want this as like my school bag, right? Absolutely. And then I'd be like, can we close the blinds and turn off the lights so you can see how cool my bag is by glowing in the dark? I think they're great. I love it. I absolutely love it. Skyquake out in the UK, also out in Canada at Walmart, but not here yet. Now, interestingly, GameStop had a number of them like pre-ordered for people, myself included. And a couple of people had emails for the ship to home option. And I've heard of one person who had the pickup in store option a couple of weeks ago. But oddly, nobody seems to have it, and nobody seems to have any update on its shipping to them. Very peculiar, very peculiar. Also out in Canada is the Nest Ratchet, again seen in Ontario. The Origins Jazz seen at a Toys R Us in Ontario. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get that. Guardian Robot was seen at GameStop, even though it's not supposed to come out till the 7th. It was put out at a GameStop, I assume mistakenly early. And the Retro Thundercracker and Retro Hound have been sighted at Walmart in Canada as well. Again, not here. Are we going to get them? I don't know. I've been saying all along, hey, we don't get the retro stuff, but you know what? There's a few retro Starscreams here now. There was a few of the Hot Rod. I don't know if there'll ever be a restock, but I did see a few of them. Here's my problem with them. No, it's not even a problem with them. Problem with the packaging. A lot of people are, at least here, are overlooking it because they're seeing the solid packaging with just the art on it. And rather than thinking there's a figure or something inside, because I heard a father and son actually having this conversation. The son thought it was a puzzle because puzzles have solid boxes. And he didn't want a puzzle. He wanted a Starscream. And he argued with his dad that, no, that's solid. That's a puzzle. And he didn't want it. And they walked away. That's the problem with the packaging. It's not clear what it is. If you can't see the product, it's not clear what it is. I thought that was a very interesting conversation to overhear from a father and son. I don't know if it's a one-off thing or if it's something other people have heard, but I found it really interesting that the kid had that sort of a commentary on the packaging. It's a puzzle. Puzzles have solid boxes. I thought that was really interesting. Rise of the Beast augmented reality spot was shown at a NCAA game over the weekend. I didn't see it because I was watching WrestleMania, which I really enjoyed, by the way. And everybody is so angry that Cody Rhodes didn't take the title from Roman Reigns. How did the All-American hero, the American Nightmare, not do it? I don't think he was ever slated to do it. I think that Roman Reigns is going to hold that title until Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson takes it from him. I've been saying it for 3 years, and I'm still saying it now. We'll see. I could be surprised, but I think that's where that story ends, man. I digress. So the augmented reality was shown. Basically, the whole court transformed into ground, and coming up from the ground was Primal and Optimus. And then it like panned up, and it was like Rise of the Beast and the date that it releases and stuff, right? It was a pretty cool spot. Pretty cool spot. There's videos around. I saw it on T-Former, so there are videos kicking around of the spot. Let's see. What else do we have here? I talked about Voyager Primal. There were Voyager Primal in-hand pictures that have been floating around, but I already told you my thoughts on that. I think it's a great Primal. I think it's a fairly convincing... I think it's a great robot mode, and I think it's fairly convincing gorilla mode. Faces something that surprised me a little bit in gorilla mode, but that's it. I think it's pretty cool. I do. I think it's pretty cool. The actual Optimus Prime truck used in the movies was shown at the Mid-America Trucking Show. I don't know. apparently there's a trucking show and Optimus was there. So neat, I guess, if you went to the Mid-America show and managed to have a picture or something with Optimus, neat, or even see it. WST, World's Smallest Transformers, put out like these micro Transformers. There was Optimus, Bumblebee, and Starscream was wave one. I actually reviewed them here on the channel. They're usually seen in like dollar stores and stuff. I think they were in the States, they were seen for like $5 each or something at Target, maybe. Apparently, they're going to be coming out with a mini comic. Now, I think it's the same characters, but now they're going to come with a comic. And it's not a full-size comic. It's like small, right? It's going to be a tiny comic. It is what it is. If I don't know, if you wanted the comic bad enough, then buy Bumblebee again or Starscream again. I don't know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and check it out. I reviewed it a while ago. Some other people kind of got them recently and probably reviewed them as well. They are not articulated at all. They don't move one little bit. They're solid. But they're molded pretty nice, and they do work quite nicely, honestly, next to things like the HTB Toys Nanobots. They kind of pair nicely with those, just not as well articulated as the Nanobots. Transformers laser projector. At first I was like, what is this thing? By Nebula. It is compatible with the Android TV 11.0 or higher. It will retail for, get this, a projector. Okay, because when I first saw it, I was like, what is this? And I watched the commercial or whatever. It's basically like a tube that has a projector that I guess is supposed to be able to project movies and TV and stuff onto a sheet, a screen, side of a building, whatever. It's going to retail for $899.99 US. But don't worry, there's a rebate. There's a coupon for $120 off, or there was. I mean, by the time you put taxes on it, $1,000 for a projector, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it to you, but I'd want a projector bad enough. I don't know. I struggle. And you guys know this. I struggle with modern prices a lot. I don't think any of the junk that any of us owns is worth half of what companies are trying to sell it for. I don't believe it for a second. And eventually the market will correct itself when enough people are cash strapped that they're like, yeah, I can't buy this junk. Companies, rather than going out of business, in all likelihood, are going to magically find a way to do these products for much, 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 much cheaper. I'm just saying. When a VCR first came out, remember VCRs? When a VCR first came out, they were like, $700 and $800 and $900. And going off at the end, you could get one for $20 at Walmart. I'm just saying. I think these projection things, same thing will happen. Earthspark, Thrash, and Warrior Megatron out in Hong Kong. The Warrior Megatron is fine. I mean, it's just Megatron as Warrior class, I guess. I think the Thrash is really good. Very little hollowness on the front and the sides, a little bit in the thighs. Then you see the back. And at first I was like, oh man, it's a bunch of hollowness back there. Not really. There's a part that flips up on his back, kind of behind his head. And what's under that is quite waffly. But it's not part of the actual robot. I think it's part of like the motorcycle. It's just that it has the hangout on his back. It's too bad that it is hollow there. It does kind of throw off the look of him if you're looking at the back. But how often are you looking at them from back on? I think the paint looks great. I think the face sculpt is impeccable. I even like that his sidecar kind of becomes like his can go attached to his arm like a blaster. I enjoy Twitch. I do. I enjoy Twitch. I think she's a fun little transformer. I can't wait to get Thrash. I'm absolutely in on Thrash. I think he looks great. He's something new. He's something different, right? So that's what I love, man. That's what I love. Let's go back to Rise of the Beast for a moment, and then I'm going to check in with you guys. Going back to Rise of the Beast for a moment, Beast Weaponizers are out. Wheeljack and Rhinox as a 2-pack. It was seen in Vancouver. I don't remember this ever being announced, but it was seen in Vancouver, of all places, which is literally right across the country. Danny's there. Maybe Brian's there. I'm not sure where Brian lives. I always thought it was Ontario, but he might live in BC too. So anyway, they're there. At first, I was like, this doesn't look good. And honestly, the way they packaged the Wheeljack, he looks awful. But when you look at the back and look at the product images, it's like, you know what? That Wheeljack actually looks okay. Now, I mean, like, it's not Wheeljack. I got to come up with a different name to call that thing. Maybe I would call it Day Trader, even though it's not Day Trader, but I would probably call it Day Trader. It's definitely not Wheeljack. But it looks all right on the back. I think it's smaller than the other one. It's probably more of a scout class, but it comes with a little weaponizer being Rhinox. I don't think it's hateful. I think it's a cool little two pack, to be honest with you. And I just think they should have packaged the Wheeljack better than they did, because in package it looks like he's very stubby, stumpy, and doesn't have great articulation. But I think it's much better articulation than the way he's packaged would indicate, based on the product images on the back. Hope that's clear. What else do we have here? Oh, Super Impulse. They're the guys who do World's Smallest Transformer, by the way. They're also doing the Pop Taters, which is basically like a Mr. Potato Head Optimus Prime. A Pop Taters Optimus Prime keychain. Because, of course, when you do the full-size regular thing, if you make it small and put a keychain on it, you can sell it again as a keychain. We've seen this before with a lot of the G1 mini bots, for example. Same sort of idea as that. I'm going to check in with you guys, and then we're going to get back to the news. Let's see what we got here going up. Grimlock got speech problem in OC thanks to Shockwave. In FOC, yes, but that would be the aligned continuity. I think maybe this Grimlock's aligned continuity. I don't know. I thought that this Grimlock was supposed to be a G1 Grimlock. What do I know? Maybe you're right. I have to be 100% honest right now. My Legends Class Jetfire. Okay. Legends Class Jetfire and Grimlock have been making me so something happy. What? Happy New Age? Highly recommend. I don't know what you're saying there, but I assume that you like the New Age Grimlock and Jetfire. Which, cool. Nothing wrong with that. Everything can glow in the dark. Even my skin. I would be cool with that, man. Haven't seen Jazz. I'm eagerly awaiting. Yeah, you would definitely see it, I would think, before and if it would ever make its way here. That's the problem with living here, is that there's no guarantee anything's going to come here. Either we get nothing, or we get like, here's 50, and it's like, these 50 are not going to sell at this price. However, I am happy to report that apparently, and Raz, you'll appreciate this, apparently, from what I hear, I hope it's true, he's not selling for $44.99. Apparently, Jazz is selling for the regular $35, $36, which is still too high. But apparently, he's not selling for what the Buzzworthy Deluxes have been selling for. Probably because if anybody else's Toys R Us is like mine, the Buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff doesn't move. I could go now and put my hand on 20 Silver Streaks, probably a few cups. The Creatures Collide pack I could put my hands on. The 4-pack with the Cyberverse stuff, easy to put my hands on. The Pterosaur, 20 or 30 of that. Like, it's not selling, because at least here people are saying $45 for that. You're on hard drugs, really hard drugs, if you think that it's worth that. It's not. It's $15 toy, and it is. They're right. It is $15. 20 is pushing it, and you're trying to sell it for 45. There's a reason it's not selling, man. I want the War Don 2-pack. So do I. May 1st, man. That's the date they're saying. I just spent 4 days with a bout of COVID. My fever broke this morning. The headache is gone, but my eyes still hurt. I may be able to edit some videos tonight. I mean, that's terrible. Starscream wife had it a couple of weeks ago, and it's just awful. I'm sorry that you went through that. It's not a fun experience. Let's see. Let's go down here a bit. Everybody's sending Anthony the well wishes, and so they should. Imagine in an alternate universe where the kid wanted a Transformers puzzle gets a Starscream figure, right? Right? I got Skyquake. What? With wing upgrade? There's an upgrade for Skyquake already? Never even heard of it. Oh, wait. Do you mean you have the Prime, the original Prime Skyquake with the upgrade kit? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about with an upgrade kit. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you swear I'm not gonna be let down. Do you know me? Do you know how critical I am? I'm less and less and less impressed with products. By the way, newest price hikes. That's right. The newest wave of pre-orders. Oddly, we don't have any of the deluxes for pre-order at the usual spots here in Canada yet, other than A3U. And I think Toy Snowman and TF Toys. But the release dates all over the place. Some of them are saying June, some of them are saying Q4, which would be like October, November. I don't know when they're releasing. A lot of the deluxes are not up yet for pre-order. It's so strange. However, I can confirm that leader class is jumping from $76.99 to $77.99, and core class is jumping from $16.99 to $17.99. It's not going to sell. You can do what you like, but I'm telling you now, these products are not selling at the price you had them. Upping the price is not going to make them sell more. What's my proof? Walmart really, I know that it was cited at, I know Skyquick was cited at Walmart in Canada, but man, I can't speak for other places of Canada. I don't remember the last time my Walmart had leader class. That's a lie. Yes, I can. They had Coronation Starscream that only sold when it ended up going on clearance for 30 bucks. And the Galaxy Shuttle, I mean, it's shelf warming like crazy. I've had a few people say, "Oh, I'd like a Galaxy Shuttle. I wish we had it." And then I tell them, "Well, I'll get you one. It's going to be 80. By the time I put taxes on here, it's going to be closer to $90. It's going to be $88 Canadian plus shipping. But if you want it, I can hook you up." But I mean, think about it now. Those of you who got AstroTrain, for example, and I'm going to ask you this: by the time you put the conversion rate and stuff on, you're probably, say you live in the US, you're probably going to pay around 75, maybe 80 bucks to me for that. Is that AstroTrain really worth 75 American? Is it really worth 75 American? Because that's basically what this is, right? That's got to be up to you. But I don't know. I don't think upping prices, man, is the good way to go. I'm just saying, brothers and sisters, I guess. Hey, Warren, thanks for the upgrade, buddy. I appreciate it. Our newest member, by the way. I got a couple of people I actually got to get together and say some thank yous to. Hey, Omega. Hey, Sovereign. I have an update from Hasbro Pulse's screw up for the core class Soundwave. I'm going to explain that in a second, Sovereign. They refunded my money and they are allowing me to keep the Red Ranger figure. Not sure what I'll do with it. Okay, so for those who are unaware, Sovereign ordered the Legacy Soundwave, Sound Blaster, whatever it was, the core class one. And they sent a package and they sent that email saying the wait's almost over, or the wait's over, your package has arrived, and like detailed in there that it's core Soundwave. He opened it up and for some reason it was a red Power Ranger. I mean, it's not even the right franchise. How that happened, I don't know, but at least they refunded your money. You know, not that that helps you in getting it. Surely you can source it from somewhere else, but that's not the point, right? I don't know, buyer beware from Pulse, I guess. But again, you know me. I don't think the thing should exist, right? Oh, you got one off eBay. Okay, well there you go. You got it off eBay. So I guess like all's well that ends well, but it's a weird story, man. It is a weird story. Caldeo says I had renamed ROTB Wheeljack as Winchline. Yeah, I guess Winchline could work. Yeah, he could work as a winch. Hey Chris. What? I wonder if the new wheel guy's going to say, did I do that? Yeah, probably. Hey, Sean C. Hey, Prime Ghost. Yeah, 24 in the US, but if you do the exchange rate and the conversion, like they overcharge us in Canada. Like they really overcharge us in Canada. Typically, the Buzzworthy Deluxes have been selling for $44.99 at Toys R Us. It's nuts. People are like, we're so jealous. You got Toys R Us. Don't be. Don't be. They're gone down the toilet, man. Let's see here. It's the reason many collectors, Ken says, yeah, the prices is the reason many collectors and the quality, I would say, have started to dip more into third party side. There are quite a few figures I can't spend good money on when it comes to Hasbro. Right? I agree, man. I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, Toys R Us have always overcharged. Here's the thing: when they used to overcharge in the States, they didn't overcharge here. And then Toys R Us went under in the States, and it's almost like Canada said, hey, let's do all the things that drove that company out of business in the States, except let's do it in Canada. And they're making the exact same mistakes. So I don't know. It is what it is. I guess if you want to run your business into the ground, do it. Why not? Right? Or merge with someone. I mean, that's what WWE did. They merged with the UFC or the parent company for UFC, and now that whole big company, Endeavor, is the one that is the ones that own UFC and now WWE, and now that whole company's worth $21+ billion. Man, oh man, wild. Okay, so going back to the news, dollar store capsules, I guess, that have some stickers and some activity sheets that was seen this week. So Family Dollar, I think it's called in the US. Not a chain we have, not a chain I know. But if you're into that, then cool, I guess. You know, neat. If you want some activity books and stickers and stuff, I like stickers. I'm okay with stickers, especially if I can put them on Transformers. Um, Takara, as part of their branding for Rise of the Beast, is going to use a number of brand ambassadors. Like they have like some pop star, some Japanese pop star. I don't know who it is. And apparently they have a number of other Japanese celebrities that are going to be brand ambassadors leading up to Rise of the Beast. So cool, I suppose. Battle Changer Mirage was seen. I mean, if you want a battle changer, get it. I looked at it and I was like, it's okay. It gives us an idea of what Mirage looks like. The car looks good. The robot looks very static and not fun, but it does look like it's detailed nicely. So I guess it could be an okay display piece, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I looked at the product images on the package, and I think all we saw was the car mode. And even then, it was difficult to see. I feel like with the Rise of the Beast stuff, they've put an awful lot into the packaging, but you don't see too much of the product. It's really strange. Some of the products aren't very good, so maybe it's better you don't see the product. Um, Speaking of Rise of the Beast as well, apparently there will be a Hallmark Optimus Primal ornament for $19.99 US. It was in the Keepsake 2023 Wish catalog, so I don't know if the Hallmark Keepsake Transformers ornament for 2023 will be a Rise of the Beast Primal or if this will just be a Hallmark ornament. Anybody who knows me and has been around the channel long enough knows that every year a very Transformers Christmas is the stop motion that I do with really kind of a continuing story. If you've watched it from the beginning, a lot about Megatron's personal growth, we'll say, and it's always tied to the Hallmark keepsake ornaments. I don't know if this year they're going to go right off the beaten path from G1 and go into Rise of the Beasts or what, but it would be quite a departure, and I don't know if it would be the smartest move. Maybe do a keepsake in conjunction with whatever you're going to do as this year's regular keepsake line. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Studio Series Barricade Gamer Edition was shown. His car mode looks very clean. Love his car mode. I think it's great. The robot mode, I'm okay from the waist up. He's kind of bulky and burly. I think that's cool. Don't like the waist down. Really, really hate his flat feet, but I get it. Flat foot, bad guy, police officer, even though he's not a police officer this time. But like, I get it. Flat foot. He doesn't look to have ankle tilt either. That might have just been the way the picture was, but I don't know. I might get the barricade and again call it something else because I don't even remember seeing him in the game. I'm not gonna lie to you. Was there a barricade in the game? Because I don't remember it. I really don't. Um, I, I I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Golden Wonder. Apparently, it's a snack company in Europe. So, anybody here from Europe? Do you know Golden Wonder? They're going to be doing a transform a snack campaign competition in Europe where you could win a trip to New York City. All of those details apparently will go up on the Golden Wonder website on April the 14th. So this upcoming week, basically, next Friday, I think. Friday? Yeah, next Friday. Next Friday. And that only leaves us with the live stream news. So I'm going to check in with you guys, then we'll do the live stream news and the trivia. Could call him Flatfoot. That's a fair point. Yeah, it could call him. Absolutely, I could call him Flatfoot. Why not? Let's just check in with you guys very quickly. Mike says the same thing. A lot of Galaxy shuttles at his Walmart. I won't pay that for it, and that's what's being said in Canada. They have, and I said this a while ago. I said in Canada, they have now gone over their ceiling, and they're still going up over it. Like a leader class in Canadian dollars. I'm going to tell you now. A leader class in Canadian dollars should not be any more than $55. In the US, a leader class should absolutely not be over anything above $40. Anything above that is corporate gouging. 100%. If not from Hasbro or its distributors, then from the suppliers that supply the plastic or something. But somewhere in that supply chain, there's serious gouging going on by people who are already very rich. And in the current economic climate of the world, it's not going to last. Things are going to get worse before they get better, man. I'm just saying. As we go down here just a little bit. You guys talking to each other. I should get the Make Toys Jin Bao Gravity Builder upgrade 2.0 kit tomorrow. That's a mouthful. That's a mouthful. It's the upgrade kit for their KO of the Devastator. Yeah, well, I hope you enjoy it, man. I mean, the upgrade kit has gotten rave reviews. People seem to love it, so cool, I guess. Meetings for the week are over, and tomorrow is your anniversary. Hey, happy anniversary, Shansi. Happy anniversary, buddy. Sovereign likes Goldberg. Yeah, Vince. Yeah, the whole J. Jonah Jameson thing. Yeah, I feel like Vince is going through a senior citizen crisis. I mean, his hair is all dyed again. The little pencil mustache. Word is he's dipping his fingers back into creative, which he shouldn't. He's so out of touch with reality, so out of touch with the audience. Look, leave creative to Triple H. Leave it to Paul Levesque. He is the guy right now who has his finger on the pulse. Let him do his thing, right? Let him tell the stories. Finally got a surgery date for cardiac ablation on May 15th. Okay, first of all, I don't know what that is, but it sounds serious. Secondly, you're now going to be getting your surgery on my birthday. So I really, really sincerely hope it goes well for you. So, very sincerely. We never got the last wave or Speedia 500. So weird. So strange, man. Not a fan of GameStop. They don't care for shipping or taking care of the merchandise like Transformers and G.I. Joe's classifieds will arrive damaged. I've never had that happen, but at the same time, I would never get anything shipped to home. I get shipped to store. So it's always been fine from store. I mean, in Canada, there's so few spots. I don't pay. I'm not paying for shipping, so that takes out Toy Snowman, that takes out A3U, and that takes out TF Toys. Because with the prices now, I'm sorry, but another $15 to $20 or more shipping, not happening. That's instant. That's instant. No. If I can't get free shipping, then I'm not ordering it. And if I don't find it in store, then I don't find it in store. That's where I'm to, because that's where I have to be to. Hey, Maximal 10. Let's Down here. Second wave of Velocitron hit one store with few figures and have. Yeah, back in October, we got wave 2 of Velocitron. And to its credit, each of the 3 Walmarts here got one case, but it never got restocked. So there was a total of, I don't know, 2 crashers in each case, I think. I think it was 2 crashers in each case. And that's it. There were 6 crashers in this province, as best as I know, or at least in the area of the province that I live in. Triple H was doing great for WWE. Don't want Vince back. I think it's too late. Oh, well, I mean, here's the thing. Everybody's like, I don't want Vince back. You got to remember, man, Vince is 77 years old. I get it. He's a genetic jackhammer, if you believe him. Come on. How long is it going to last? Guy lives hard. He definitely done a bunch of steroids. How long is the guy going to last? For real, right? Sooner or later, Triple H will be back in charge, I believe. That's right. That, and I think because Vince is now not the executive chairman of WWE, he's the executive chairman of the board for Endeavor. I think that his scope of duties is going to become much bigger sooner rather than later. Do I think the Wardon set might be hard to get? I mean, the Orion packs and Alpha Trion are still not sold out yet. I don't know. I mean, you're saying they're not sold out yet, aren't they? I don't know. I have no idea. I know that our 3 GameStops each got one of the 2-pack sets each. They were there a while because they were like $90 or something. I don't particularly think Wardon is going to be that hard to get because the motorcycle mold isn't great. And a lot of people are kind of done with the cup mold. I really want both of these characters, so I'm going to bite the bullet. But I totally understand how some people would be like, they're not that important to me. You know? Do I think it's going to be hard to get? That's a hard call to make, man. My gut says no, but take that for what you will. That's a good question, actually. That was a really good question. Everybody now sending Sovereign some good thoughts, and that's great. I'm glad. Like, people sending good thoughts to Anthony, people sending good thoughts to Sovereign. That's what we need. We need more positivity, not just in the chat. We need more positivity, man, in life, period. Hey, Slow DK. Delivering everyone's Amazon packages. I hope some of them are Transformers, man. Let's see. Okay, so the live stream. We had the fan stream, live stream, whatever you want to call it, on Tuesday. Let's run through this. So we saw some more images and we saw the products for Dion and Ariel. I mean, I've talked about it a lot. I like it. Some people won't. Then we saw Swoop and Scar. To me, Scar is the minion that is part of Double Dealer, but okay, whatever. Reuse the name for Dinobot. I think of all 6 of these core class Dinobots, Swoop is infinitely the best, if for no other reason than the dude has elbows. He is exactly what he needs to be. I think it's a cool looking Swoop. The Scar is, I guess, a fine dino, I suppose, I guess. Personally, I look at this and I think to myself, I wouldn't get these Dinobots. I would wait because now, like all of you, because of Scar and the sort of dinosaur he is, as an Ankylosaurus, this is going to be Monstructor or Dino King. I don't know which coloration they'll be. If it was me, I would wait and get that. But that's just me. I'm not getting either because thanks to our good buddy Razor Bear, I have my Dino King. But if you don't, this is a great opportunity to get an update to Dino King and probably your only opportunity to get a mainline update to Dino King. I don't think I'm in for it necessarily for Dinobots, but for a Dino King, yeah, probably. So take that for what you will. We saw Beachcomber, and I looked at it and I thought to myself, there's not a lot different there than there is from the Legends one. Okay, he has feet. That's nice. I do like that. And then I noticed he has a waist, and I was like, okay, cool. And his hands are actually blue like they're supposed to be. So there's subtle differences. Looking at the transformation, I think the transformation is going to be very similar. Not the same, but I think it's going to have a lot similar to the Power of the Primes one. I think it was Power of the Primes. Maybe it was Titans Return. Maybe it was Combiner Wars. I don't know. The Legends class one. I think the Legends one is great. If you don't see a need to upgrade, then don't. I think the Paradise Parakeet or Parrot or whatever sort of little green bird it is, I like that. I think that that's great. It would have been nice if he had a change out fist that was gold. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'd have been down for that as well, but it is what it is. I think the Beachcomber looks all right. Dev Khan, oh baby, yes, 100%. He's a deluxe, which surprises me. I thought that they were going to reuse the Studio Series Scourge sweep mold, but they're not. Whole new mold. Down for it, 100% in for DevCon. Axle Grease was a disappointment. First, because Decepticon Junkion, like that makes no sense since in March it was stated, I think it was March 23rd, it was stated that they were like a subgroup of Autobots that lived on a junk planet. So I don't really know where Axle Grease fits in. A lot of people are saying this Axle Grease is going to get a slight recolor and slight remold with a new head to become Lockdown from Animated. I don't know. I can kind of see it from the car, but I don't know, man. The coloration is not your typical Junkion coloration with browns and reds and oranges and yellows. I'm not against it, but I don't feel like that she would, because I think it's a she, would pair well with the rest of my Junkions. So I'm not sure if I'm necessarily in on Axle Grease yet. Not because I think it's bad. I just feel like it's an odd release that I don't know if it fits in anywhere. We'll see. We'll see. I have to think about that one a little bit more. Dirge. We finally saw that Dirge is getting that repackage that so many fans that missed out want. I already know a couple of people that have their pre-order in for Dirge. He's going to be popular. They asked me, is Ramjet coming? Well, Ramjet is noted as a repackage, yes, but it has not been divulged exactly when or what wave he would be released in. So Dirge is coming. We know that now. I would think that the repack of Ramjet can't be far behind. And I'll give credit where credit is due. As critical as I am, I give Hasbro credit. So many people missed out on this. It needed to have another run. You're actually doing the right thing. It's too bad you're doing it at an inflated artificial price, but at least you're doing the right thing and doing a rerun of that. The Nemesis Leo Prime. Love the Leo Prime mold. This in like a gunmetal gray, blackish type of look looks pretty evil. I have Nemesis Prime. I have Nemesis Primal, Optimus Primal. Nemesis Lio Convoy seems about right. Seems about right. And then the Big Daddies. I would say 3 Big Daddies or 2 Big Daddies and a Big Mommy. First, Armada Megatron. I think it's a while ago I reviewed, I think it was the Galvatron version of that, and I said it's pretty great. Unfortunately, there are some serious articulation limits on it, but it's hefty, it's great, it has a fun transformation, looks great, looks good, solid. Too bad it had the articulation limits. This one gets rid of all of that junk, gimmicks, sounds, and all of that, like all of that crap, and adds in the articulation. You can still turn that centerpiece around and have the cannon coming out and stuff. I think that the Armada Megatron is a slam dunk. It's not for me. I'm not an Armada guy, but for anybody who is, I really, really hope you're stoked, excited, jacked, whatever you want to call it, because I think that Megatron is great looking. And it should pair real nicely with your Starscream, I would think. And we finally saw a whole bunch of detail for the Armada Optimus Prime. So the cab Optimus, a little bit smaller than Megatron, but I think that that would make sense. Like Megatron should always be a little bigger and foreboding. But when Optimus is beat down, when he is, in dire straits, oh no, what will I do to win? He can combine with his cat or with his trailer, and his trailer is fully articulated, not like that garbage that was released originally. Sorry if you love the original Armada Optimus. I think it is the single worst Transformer I've ever handled. I think it is utter garbage in every respect of the word. The new one, 25 billion times better. 25 billion. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think it obliterates and makes obsolete the original in literally every single solitary conceivable way. And I know how intense that sounds. And I'm not even an Armada guy. I don't have a dog in this fight. At the end of the day, I don't care. If somebody who doesn't have a dog in the fight and is not a fan of Armada can objectively sit back and say the original was garbage, because it was, some of them even set on fire, and the new one, with its articulation and all of its features, seems infinitely better, I'm telling you, man, take it to the bank, because I'm not colored by my nostalgia in this case. I'm not colored by anything. I've reviewed the original. It's junk. I'm telling you now. And I've said it about Fans Toys. I think the Fans Toys one is splendid. But if you're not for something that big and you want mainline, do yourself a favor. Get the Legacy Commander class Armada Optimus. Get the Leader class Megatron. I think you're going to be really happy. I hope you're really happy. Like, I sincerely look forward to seeing Unicron Trilogy fans gush over these, because you've waited so long for your turn that you deserve it. And I say that because, you know, as much flack as I get for being mean and a know-it-all and a this and a that, I'm actually really objective and analytical, and I'm happy, legitimately happy for other people in this case. And ladies and gentlemen, Titan Nemesis. A lot of people really excited for this. Not a fan. I like the ship. I think the ship is cool. I think it's neat that you can put it on its thrusters, or you can open out that bottom fin and it can actually like lie down. I think the robot looks awful. I think it looks like the shoulders are really going to limit the outward articulation. I hope I'm wrong for people that want it. I feel like the thighs are quite small compared to the shin, though I will admit that the front of the shin comes up higher over the knee, like the knee is a bit lower. I feel like the waist and the torso are really skinny compared to the legs and the arms. I don't know. I feel like they're trying real hard here. I do like the head gimmick and the mask gimmick. I mean, I've tightened out, I think. I've tightened out. I've said it before, I think my nemesis will just be Trypticon. I think it's neat that they're trying a female Titan. Why not? I think that that's cool, but I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes, but I saw it and I was like, really? That's what you're doing, hey? Okay. And I think that kind of says it all for me. Like, that's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Oh, hold on. I think my pen might have broke my pen. Did I break my pen? Oh no, I didn't break my pen. It's just not good. It's just not good. Oh man, this is so bad. This is so bad. If you're in for the Titan Nemesis, like I can't tell you not to. It's not striking me as something that I'm particularly excited about. Maybe it will in time. We'll have to see. I'm going to do trivia and then I'm going to check in with you guys, and all that'll leave is the unboxing, and then we can get out of here. What are we at? 102. Yikes. Okay, so here we go. This is a good one. I think you guys are going to know this. Hey, Brian. Congratulations, by the way, Brian. I mean, I'd like to say one day I'll reach your greatness, but let's be honest. I make too many people angry. It's probably not going to happen. There's a lot of people that keep people happy, that have gotten big. I don't do that. I don't do that. Let's go up here a bit. Here's the trivia. Are you ready? I think you guys are going to know this one. You guys are smart. I think you guys are going to know this one. Who is the first addition to the G1 cast post Machine Wars? So after Machine Wars, who was the first character to get added to the G1 cast? They also are one of the early examples that started the trend of eHobby coming up with original characters for their repaints. So, was it A, Bugbite? Was Bugbite the new addition to G1 after Machine Wars? B, Crosscut? C, Lift Ticket? Or D, Clampdown? Bugbite, Crosscut, Lift Ticket, or Clampdown? Who was the first addition to the G1 cast post Machine Wars? Again, to be clear, A is Bugbite, B is Crosscut, C is Lift Ticket, and D is Clampdown. I'm going to check in with you guys while you vote and see what you are saying as we go down here a little bit. Axle Grease has a Decepticon symbol because Axle Grease is a Decepticon. Weird, right? Yeah, I hear you, Sovereign. A quivering, out of sync, fast beating heart is spooky. You're darn right, it's spooky, man. Chicken fried steak. Hey, man, it's been a while. Still my favorite name to say, though. You do miss all the good stuff. You must work late, or well, late comparatively to me. Yeah, right. I mean, I Prime Ghost is saying that he thought the same thing was going to be a Scourge or a sweep reuse for DevCon. Thought for sure, but I'm not going to complain though about a new mold. I'm cool with Axel Grease. Her alt mode looks mean, and she kind of gave me Prime Viacon vibes for some reason. I can see that. Also, she has Cybertron Bushguard's color scheme. I don't know. Okay, I don't know the character. Um, pre-order Beachcomber and Dirge. I hear ya. You missed out on all the cone heads. Hopefully they'll redo the thrust as well. I don't know if they will, but I haven't heard of the thrust, but they should. If you're redoing one, you should redo all three. Hey, Dragonfly, appreciate it being a super chat super fan. Hey, Brian, hope things are going good with you, buddy. Like I said, congratulations again. Nemesis is okay, but I don't know if I'll get it. The mold is so good. I love the Leo Convoy mold, or the Leo Prime mold, if you will. I love it. I thought it was so good. Let's see if we go down here. I'm passing on Nemesis for the colors alone. I don't think they are right, and more importantly, I don't like them. Wow. Tell us how you really feel. Now, to be fair, though, I'm pretty sure that this Nemesis is just a test shot. Like, I assume the whole thing will be purple. Like, surely the whole thing's going to be purple, right? I'm not crazy about this, right? I don't think the blue and the brown is going to stay. Maybe the silver. But I don't know. I wasn't blown away by it. I might, but I'm getting strapped for cash with all of these new releases and pre-orders. Well, I told you I was going to catch up to you, man. You don't listen to me. The colors on stream were, yeah, prototypes, right? The purple is probably the purple that they'll go with. I think I have 300 pre-orders that I'm slowly dipping money into PayPal to cover it. Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, man. Not into Armada, but I'm getting that Prime. Hasbro has been killing the Commander class. You know what? They have, for the most part, been killing the Commander class. I agree with you. Yeah, I do agree with you. I have no reason to think that Prime won't be good. I just don't. I'm not tied to it, right? Nemesis has a serious presence. I have a hunch they'll do serious retooling to get an Armada tidal wave out of her. I don't see it. And again, I'm going to say it, and I've said it again. A Titan tidal wave is inappropriate. It's a boat. It holds. An aircraft carrier holds 5,000 people at max capacity. A city, like a city bot, to be defined as a city needs 50,000. It's a big boat. Don't get me wrong. 5,000 is big. It's a big boat, but it's not a Titan. I mean, do what you like, but it's not a Titan, and I'm never going to agree that it's a Titan. I'm never going to. The math doesn't support it. I'm sorry, the math doesn't support it. To be fair, though, before anybody jumps on my case about it, because a couple of people have this week, I also don't think that the Nemesis or the Ark or Omega Supreme should be Titans. I think they should be bigger, for sure, bigger than Commander, but I don't think that they should be full-blown Titans, because none of them are. Look at the Sunbow chart. Don't have to look any further than that. Tells you all you need to know for Omega and Skyfire and stuff, right? Size charts don't lie. That's the Bible they go by, right? I no, they should do a Commander tidal wave. That would make sense. A whole new mold, Doom Commander class. As a Titan, it makes no sense. Nobody's going to convince me that tidal wave is the same size as Triptychon and Scorponok and Fort Max and Metroplex. Not a chance. Sorry, not buying it. If you do, cool. I'm just not buying it. Better than the Combiner Wars Megatron. I agree, Brian. Better than the Combiner Wars Megatron. I didn't even bother with either of the Combiner Wars Megatron molds because I thought they looked terrible. I don't know if they're good or bad. I know a lot of people like them, but I thought that both of them looked just awful. This new Megatron looks stupendous, really stupendous. Its legs look like crap as well. I assume that you mean the Combinors one. I agree. If I do get the Nemesis, it'll be just one. You have the Arc. I have the Arc too, but like I said, I think I'm just going to stick with Strepticon and call it good. Tarn's mom has got it going on. Tarn's mom has got it going. I get it. I get what you're doing there. And I get why you would say Tarn's mom. I totally get it because of the face thing. If anything, Dennis, get it for ship mode only. I'm not spending $300 plus tax, because that's what it'll be here, on a ship. That's insane. I know. I value my bank account more than that. If somebody, could get it for me for $100, like maybe, but no, I'm not spending 300 on it. That's no. The Arc disappointed me. Yeah, I wasn't blown away by the Arc either. I'm not excited for the Nemesis because of it. Wait, no, hold on. Things are really jumping down here a bit. Better than I hate that the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime is a buzzworthy Bumblebee. Is it buzzworthy Bumblebee? I didn't know that. Nemesis looks fantastic in both modes. No, man, look again. The robot looks like hot garbage. That's a terrible looking robot. I don't believe her shoulder will go out any further than this, because her shoulder's going to bang into her head. I don't know, man. I mean, good on you. I hope you're happy with it, but I think the ship looks good. I think the robot looks terrible. You're welcome. Let's see. We got some A's, some B's, C's with a question mark. D, B, B, D. BugBot was a Japanese exclusive with 5 other GoBots. That's not the question I asked, but okay. Hey, BS Prime, B. It is, in fact, B. Crosscut, introduced in 2002, along with Road Rage. Crosscut and Road Rage are the first 2 additions to the G1 cast after Machine Wars, followed the following year in 2003 by Clampdown and Deep Cover. So they were the first 4 kind of post G1 that got retconned to G1. Crosscut, Road Rage, Clampdown, and yes, indeed, good old Deep Cover. Go figure, right? Hey, Super Robot Ed. Go down here a little bit. I know I'm skipping over some stuff for sure, because we've been here a little while, and I do have to get out of here. But in the cartoon, Trents, the city bots are near the clouds. That's the whole point. They are near the clouds, right? Hey, Cooler Than Freezer. All I'm saying is Magmatron needs to be a part of Legacy. I agree 100%. Let's do the unboxing, get out of here. Really, it's just 2 things, 2 packages, 2 pickups, two things that were in boxes that I took out of boxes. And if you were here last week, then you probably got a bit of an idea of what this is. So last week, we did Shrapnel. And I called it then. I said, it's so weird the Shrapnel came in by himself. I said, just watch. Tomorrow, Friday is going to come, and I'm going to get Crash Bar and Crosscut. And sure enough, Friday came. And what did I get? Crash Bar and Crosscut. Now, this little guy here, we're going to review him next week. He's interesting. He's a bit small. He's only 72 grams, but I think it's a more acceptable 72 grams than, say, Siege Reflector was. And I'll explain why when I do the review. But he's fun. A very interesting transformation. Very, very interesting transformation. And, of course, the red-wheeled wonder known as Crosscut. And you know how I know that this mold is good? Because until Generations in 2013, 14, whatever it was, when they used the original Skids mold and redid it as Crosscut, I'd never heard of Crosscut, didn't know who he was, didn't care who he was. Didn't really like that mold. Fast forward 9 years later, or 8 years later, or whatever it is. I want to say 9 years later. And I love this mold so much that I have the skids, I have the burnout, and I have crosscut. Don't know burnout, don't know crosscut, but I love the mold. I really wish I loved the crankcase version of it as much. But you know what this guy does have? Look at that. Look at that. I can move the arm, and wouldn't you know it? Look at that. The chest isn't moving up and down all over the place. It actually locks in. That's the difference. That's the whole thing, man. That's the whole thing. Still, no skyquake. And on that note, to each and every one of you and your families, I hope if you celebrate Easter that you have a wonderful Easter long weekend. If you don't celebrate Easter, then I just hope you have a wonderful weekend. Shanti, happy anniversary. Another congratulations to 25K for Brian. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bid a humble adieu and get out of here. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Stick around, man. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And especially don't forget that somehow, some way, whether you realize it or not, whether you feel it in your core or not, but somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams right here on Thursday nights like this, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, like this tomorrow, when we look at this guy inside the videos.